what's up, all you burners, stoners, and potheads, and especially all you gardeners out there? This is Mr. Weedman and Big Earl with the Grow Hour. Big Earl, my brother, it's been a long motherfucking time, and I miss you, my friend. How the hell are you?
I miss you too, brother. I'm good, dude, and it has been a very long time, but it feels great getting back and chatting, and I'm geeked with who we're chatting with today, but doing awesome, man.
I'm so happy to have you back. It's been a month since we recorded. We've been getting a lot of people asking for us, but enough about you and I. We have two very special guests on, Grow for Life and KrakenGenetix3.0. Gentlemen, say hello to the world, will you?
What's happening?
Man, we're super stoked to have you both on, and we're going to get into this, but before we get started, Big Earl, let's smoke, man. I've been waiting all day for this fucking show. I've been waiting all month for this show, and I'm super stoked. You know, sometimes life throws you lemons, sometimes life throws you a couple apples, and sometimes life throws you the fattest, juiciest nug that you ever fucking smoked. So let's get smoking. I am smoking, in honor of Big Earl, Drunk Rider. Tell us a little bit about this strain, Big Earl, that I'm smoking.
That is the Ghost Ride from, that was one of my first lines I ever, like one of my first, like, did something on purpose things. Ghost Ride from Bay Exclusives. I don't know if you guys remember them. Long time ago, they ended up getting, like, their account hacked, and they like, did a release that wasn't them, and then I never got my packs, at least. But anyway, always such good flower, and it was just such good, unique shit. They were out of the Bay, I think, and I crushed that brandy wine. But really, really, like, it's super, like, not dirty, but like not GMO-y, but real funky. But doesn't give you that like down. It's like a more of a daytime smoke, which I don't find a lot of funks like that.
It's got some funk. I like it. I still got some nugs, and I'm going to see you this weekend, so I'm going to get a couple more 2-tree nugs from you, so I'm super stoked. What are you smoking? You actually have switched your game up, my brother. You went from smoking flower every day until we became friends with Mr. Wolfman Jack, our hash man, and now you're fucking all – and you got a Christmas gift. You're smoking out of the peace pipe, the old beep, as my dad used to call it, and you're smoking out of the old beep right now. What are you smoking there, my friend?
So I had – a tray that I went on vacation and didn't turn on. So I came back, this tray's looking sad. They were alive, you know, but they like, it was getting deep. It was like 6 or 7 weeks in flower. And I was like, I'm cutting this shit. And so I took it to Wolfman, and he made some pretty badass hash out of it. Like 7-week strain, like 7-week plants. Should have been probably 9 or 10. It was a testing tray. Like, so I don't really know, honestly, but yeah, it turned out really, really nice, really, really fucking delicious, and I've been smoking a lot of it. But I will be back on flower soon because I got a whole test tray that just came down with a bunch of those Uncle Loom Packy headbands and some other shit.
Nice.
So,
Grow for Life. What are you smoking on?
Smoking on some Gusher Pie number 8, man. Gusher Pie number 8 is it's Gushers times Rainbow Pie, and basically, it's Z Skittles times Grand Blueberry. Man, it's just this number 8. We hunted it out, almost say maybe about a year ago. So this is probably about the third run on it, and it's just, man, it's fucking amazing, dude. It's loaded full of sour Skittles. The inside of a tangerine. It's got a little bit of a pineapple funk to it.
Come on now.
Oh, yeah. It's got, heavy on the grapefruit. It's got a bit of cat piss and a lot of blueberry on the actual like a smoke. So, man, it's amazing, dude.
The cat piss is the new thing I hear people want. Seriously.
Yeah.
I've been hearing that a lot lately.
Oh, I love pissy strains, man. I love that. You know, that piss chemical or that piss gas. I really enjoy that. It takes me back to, 20 years ago, dude, you know?
I feel you. KrakenGenetix, what are you smoking on, my friend?
I got some Honey Z live rosin that I picked up from Bloom in Oakland from Hash and Flowers. Yeah.
Nice. So you guys. I love seeing more and more people really dive into the hash realm And I know I've been smoking hash since the 90s, but I'm seeing more and more people experience what the hash world is all about. I love it. I love it. Earl, especially you, man. Makes me fucking happy to see
I've
you
gone
get
through
into
my
the realm of
hash
hash.
stages. But
I know, but now you're back. Now
I
you're
am
back. Just when you thought you were out, Wolfman Jack drug you back in.
So here, maybe you guys experienced this too, but it went from, so hash makers wanted 20-25%, right? Well, when the market started crashing a little bit, they didn't want to. The hash makers didn't want to have it, so they started just charging up front. And so as hash makers stopped making hash because growers stopped growing, I started having to find these hash makers, and I paid one or two of them up front, and I just got back like stuff that wasn't up to caliber. And so like I'm basically sitting there, paying $800 or whatever it was, and then what I get back from them isn't anything that I can use or that I want or anything, and I just waste a bunch of money having this person convert, But yeah, I finally found somebody who can make it right. But while I was going through that, I didn't ever smoke hash. It was always flower. But did you guys see that too? Have you guys had a hard time finding extractors or anything?
I honestly haven't been looking lately. That's super interesting to hear. I remember when I was doing that kind of stuff, it was typically a 50-50 split, and or you could pay a fee to get everything back.
Yeah. The splitting they stopped.
So the splitting they stopped, Earl?
Yeah, for me at least. Maybe it's different. I'm in the Michigan market, and we got flooded pretty hard, pretty quick. And so I couldn't find anybody to split anything ever. They wouldn't even look at the product. I was like, hey, I'm pretty sure you're going to want some of this, and not that anything's better than anything else.
But now you found somebody. The
Wolfman. Yeah, and he lives pretty close to me. It's pretty nice. I've been saving him plants and shit, doing full plants, which I've never had the chance to do. I've been loving it.
It's nice. Hey, are you doing fresh frozen? Are you doing dried flower? What exactly are you doing?
So since we don't have a ton, we have done the fresh frozen, but honestly, I've been loving the cured flower presses. I do a 2 to 3 week dry on it, and then we press it, and then we cure it in the hash form in a jar. Man, a month or two after that, it's like leaking terps.
Yep, I'm telling you, bro, that's the way to go, man. You want those glands nice and amber, bro. You get the heavy terp profile out of it, and it becomes really narcotic, dude, which is amazing.
Yeah, agreed. It's just a better.
I'm looking forward to this round.
He ran it both ways for me because he was like, everybody wants fresh frozen, but to me, it's great if you're doing 100 pounds of something and you don't want to use 5,000 bags, but really, like you said, he's like the better rosin comes from the cured flower if you can get it 2 to 3 with right when it's drying, basically as much you want to save as much of that terpene as possible, and then you cure it as a rosin.
Yep. Yeah. The only thing I hear some people kind of point out is that the rosin comes out a little bit more on the red amber side, which to me I could care less. I just know that means that head was cured properly, personally.
Yeah. Agreed.
Love it. I'm getting some this weekend. I'm excited. I'm excited. I cannot wait. So we'll talk more about hash a little bit later, but we did this a little bit backwards with Grow for Life and KrakenGenetix. We usually have, how we start this is have each individual do their own show with us, and then they do a burp in the bag show where they get to talk whatever the fuck they want, and then we do a round table. We usually pick two that would match up. You both have known each other and have done some work together, so we kind of did it backwards, and I'm kind of happy about this. So we get to know you in one way, and then we get to have some fun with the other two ways. So I'm super stoked. We kind of did this talk, and what we're doing this talk about is collaborating. Collaboration is a big deal in a lot of different worlds out there, a lot of different business worlds. You have collaborations on sneakers. You have collaborations on weed now. You have collaborations on music. You have collaborations on some sports. There's just different things you collaborate with, but this is not a new thing in cannabis. But these two gentlemen who decided to come on our show are going to talk about their collaboration. And in a short synopsis of you guys, we'll save the deep talk for the show, your individual shows. But what I want to know is, we'll start with Grower for Life. Who the fuck are you, man? Who are you? How do we get to know you just a little bit? Just a little bit, little 1-2 minutes of like, when you start growing, when did you start making some seeds, and when you got into seeds, and then Kraken, you go next. Same questions.
Okay, so started cultivating back in 1996. I think I had my first real spot. Man, it was probably right around 98. You know, when I had a nice. I think I had like 5,000 watts of bloom going, which was kind of unheard of. Well, it wasn't unheard of, but in our little towns, it was unheard of. So been cultivating since then. Started out in soil. Man, I've done hydro. I've done cocoa. I've done soilless mixes. I'm in living soil now. I feel like that answered that first question.
Can I ask you a question? Since you started in the 90s,
yeah.
Did you start with hydro? Like a lot of the 90s growers that I knew, they started with hydro.
Yeah, so we did the guy that showed me how to grow, we did a vermiculite, perlite, peat moss mix. I don't remember what it was, whether it was like a 25, 25, 25. I don't remember the exact mix, but so we would do vermiculite, perlite, peat moss, and we'd use 1 gallon plastic pots, and we had them in trays. I don't remember what the name of the trays were, but they were like 2 foot wide by about 3.5 foot long. And we would bottom feed. We would do a wick system. And it was GH and Fox Farm were the only hydroponic nutrients out, man. And with GH, it was micro grow bloom. There was nothing else. And with Fox Farm, it was grow big, grow bloom, tiger bloom. Any of that other stuff didn't exist. So yeah, it was hydroponic, man. It was a wick system, basically.
Yeah, I knew a person that did that similar type of system. That's why I had to ask. I knew a couple people.
it worked great, man. I mean, you had to do the shake tester on. I got some funny stories that we can get into on our when we're doing a one-on-one about how I used to, we used to use milk jugs and garbage cans and shake testers to, mix all our nutrients. We used to do all sorts of stupid shit, but
Sweet.
Anyways, so yeah, man. So basically I did start out hydro, really enjoyed soil, kind of more or less went that direction. On the whole seed breeding thing, dude, I've never bred any plants in my life, dude. That's not my lane. I love hunting, and I love cultivating, and I love hunting. And basically, I would say that the first packs of seeds that I got my hands on were back. When did we get married, honey? 2004. When did we meet? Actually, 2004? 2003. Okay, so probably a year or two prior to that, I got. I take that back. It was probably 4 or 5 years prior to that. I got a hold. I ordered some Super Skunk number 3 and hash plant from Sensi Seed Bank overseas, and they landed. And I figured out how to germinate them. And I germinated some seeds prior, but I germinated them. And I made a big name for myself with the Super Skunk and the hash plant, man. And then basically, like, when the whole gold rush in California happened, and everybody was handing out cuttings left and right, I started running into pest issues. And I got really tired of that. And that's when I dove back into the seeds again. So, man, I've probably been germinating seeds, cracking seeds for the last, dude, I want to say probably 15 years. I've brought in 0 cuttings from anybody for probably 15 years, dude.
Good for you.
Yeah. It eliminated the big thing was spider mites back then and powder mildew. It just eliminated those issues. They were gone.
You like working hard for your money.
Yeah, baby.
But I'm with you 100% on that. 100%. I am with you on that. I have not taken a cut from anybody. You can ask even Big Earl. I'm not a big grower. I'm a small little guy, but I've only grown from seed.
For sure, man. And I mean, it kind of upsets. It upsets people sometimes, and they're like, "I got this prize cut I want to give you," and I'm like, "Bro, I love you, but like, I can't do that, man. Like, I don't. No offense, but give me some seeds, bro. I'll pop some seeds and I'll do my own hunt,
I
but
love
I
this
don't
guy.
want to give, bro."
I love it. I love it.
I
So
take
you're
those
into
cuts.
seeds, just like Big Earl. You're
Yeah.
Big Earl. You're a maniac seed hunter too, dude. You're a pheno hunter to the pheno hunters,
Well,
man. You are.
I'll
You
take
got a
those
lot.
those popular plants I take, but I don't grow them. I cross them, and then I grow. Then
Got
I
you.
hunt through the seeds mostly. But yeah, I totally feel you there though. It's hard, even when you isolate. It's the funniest thing ever. I worked in a grow shop for like 6 or 7 years, and 99.9% of the time, somebody comes, I don't know where this came from. I think my dirt came with bugs. Did you get a clone within the last month? Well, yeah, that's where your bugs came from. No. They said they didn't have any bugs. Okay, but I'm telling you, it didn't come from that inert cocoa. It came from those cuts, like every time.
Yeah, everybody says they're clean.
Right.
They're just full of shit. That's the problem.
Yeah. Or
Kraken?
maybe their IPM's working for them, and as soon as you change that up a little bit, it's a problem.
That's why I don't get clones. I only grow from seed. Would you take a clone though if someone gave it to you and put it outside and grow it outside?
Me? You talking to me?
I don't know if you
Anybody?
Yeah,
just
I would.
would anybody do it?
Sure,
Bueller?
I'll
Anybody
take that
just
for 500.
There you go. Sweet. So I love it. Kraken. So go ahead and tell us. Same questions to you.
I started cultivating around 2006. I had a friend that had like 100 light warehouse, and I started out, got my foot in the door by doing security for him and helping him cut clones, and just fell in love with the plant and cultivating it. So I think I got my first real indoor spot in around 2010, and I've been paying my bills solely from cultivating since then. Yeah.
Love it. I talk about it. I just actually talked about it. We do another show called the Weedman 420 Chronicles. I do that with Mrs. Weedman, my wife. And we were just talking about the industry and how this is an industry for everybody to make a living on, to make a good living on. It's not just for the corporate fucking Brads and Chads and fucking, big corpo heads to make billions of dollars, or try to anyway, because they can't make any money anyway at it. But people like us, families, earning a good living, being able to provide and be able to go do what the American dream was and own your own business. And I'll say it to the day I die. This isn't everyone's business, not just a group of business. If that makes any sense.
100%.
It could be the drunk rider. I don't know.
We'll get you.
So I love this because this is where Big Earl takes over for a little bit, because this is his wheelhouse, baby. And Earl, it's been a month since we did a show, and I'm looking forward to sitting back, smoking some more drunk rider, where our two friends go tit for tat. I love it. Go ahead, Earl. Take it over.
So let's talk about collaborations a little bit, because maybe people don't really know what that. You collaborate a few different ways, but Kraken, let's start with you on this one. What does that mean to you? Like, what was your guys' collaboration per se, or like how did that look?
You'll have to say it one more time. You cut out for a second, I think.
Oh, I'm sorry. The collaboration. How I thought maybe we'd start with just what does that mean exactly to you? Like, what was your guys' collaboration, and how did you guys work together to accomplish this end game, being like the seeds that you're making?
This is really the only collaboration, so to speak, that I've done, and I think typically it's more talked about between two breeders that decide, to bring together whatever they're excited about working on and see, what comes from that. This was a little bit different. Grower for Life is a friend of mine, someone I deeply respect. I definitely regard him as the best craft grower that I know. This guy grows insane fire. But he has this prized possession, and as he mentioned, he doesn't take outside cuttings. He doesn't let his prized possessions leave, obviously. But I think, as we all know, the industry as a whole has kind of an attention span problem. You know, everybody's always looking for what's next. So I wanted to give him a way to find new variations of the gusher pie. You know, just to help a friend out. So that's basically how it came about. He keeps all the seeds from these crosses. I don't keep any for myself. It's just about helping each other out.
Yeah, that's awesome. I love that it's different because, like you said, most people say, "Oh, well, this guy gave the male to this person, and this person crossed all the females with their male, or whatever, you know, whatever it might be." But there's a lot more. Like, really, we all collaborate. Anytime you make anything or hunt anything, it's a collaboration because it's not just one person doing it. You know, it's so many people so far down the road. But so, do you have anything else on that, Grow for Life, or my? It's a
no,
weird
man.
question.
No, I definitely I've had other people come my direction trying to do collabs, kind of like Kraken was saying. I've been very fortunate, dude. When I've kind of jumping around a little bit, but my buddies that have known me for a long time, they all tell me that I got the Midas touch when it comes to germinating seeds and finding the one. Because generally, I can pop a pack, man, and find 2 or 3 like solid keepers that I'm able to dwindle down to one. And that's kind of where that GP3 came in, the Gusher Pie number 3. That's what I'm really known for. And I found it back in 2019. The point that I'm trying to get at is I've been able to keep the GP3 alive and extremely wanted since 2019. So very fortunate, very blessed to be able to do that. And that's kind of where Kraken came in, man. We one of our buddies introduced us, and I was interested in just running some of his genetics. And it was kind of a little bit of an agreement. We met each other, shook hands. We kind of knew each other. We came from the same town, so we had the circle of friends was kind of close. And I ran some of his crosses that he did on his own, and really liked what I saw. And that's kind of what like brought us together. I was like, man, I admire this dude. He's got his shit together. Like, this is some fucking fire, bro. Like, this is hard to find out there. And that's kind of what brought us together. And then at some point, I don't know when, it kind of came up with the whole, hey, let's do a collab and cross the GP3, the female, with a couple of different males, and go from there.
Yeah, nice. That's cool. That's
yeah.
It's I don't know. I love that that's happening, honestly, because there's just there's so much out there, and we everything's so similar. I put it, a lot of the breeders out there, and I'm not even excluding. I never call myself a breeder because I don't have an overall intent other than to make something like better or to change something maybe in a specific way. But I don't have like a like the breeder, I think, always has this. Okay, I'm doing this specific thing, and I'm kind of like wild out there where I'm like, I think this male is going to be nice on these ladies, and that's it, Right. But it's
yep.
badass scene because it's like it's like a collab. Like it makes me think of like a DJ collaboration where there's 2 people up there, and you it's like every person brings that little bit of different flavor.
Sure.
You know what I mean? And so I don't know, but. While we're this next question, I'm realizing as I wrote some of these questions down that they don't translate over to two answers very well. But so one thing is that I just wanted to talk to people about in general, this forced collab versus a regular collab. You guys are doing maybe not a regular collaboration, but there's so many collaborations out there that are also forced, where somebody's taking somebody else's stuff, and you'll see like 3 or 4 strains or a couple cuts or that are like specifically somebody's, and they're breeding with them. Like that to me is like more of a forced collab, You're forcing somebody else's work, your work onto that. And I love that you guys don't have that in this. You're hunting your own seeds. You're not taking outside cuts ever, But here's a good question. When do you think it's okay for somebody to F2 somebody else's work? Do you think that if you bought somebody's seeds, F2, that's yours? or how you guys feel about that?
That's kind of the outlook I have on it. If somebody purchases seeds from me and they enjoy what they find in those enough to continue down that journey and take it to F2 or F3 or make out crosses with it, I feel like that's their right. They spend the money to buy those seeds. They spend the time to grow them out, to do the selecting. I don't have a problem with it personally. I know there's definitely a lot of guys out there making seeds that don't want that being done, but I don't get down like that.
Yeah, for sure. Well, that F2 also is it's a better representation of the grandparents, really. Like it brings out those little bit farther, traits, to me at least, what I've seen.
Yeah, for sure.
And so if anything, unless you bred the grandparents also, it's not really going to be too much of a representation, but it is, it is what it is. But I didn't know. Somebody asked that the other day, and I thought that's a good question to ask on a collaboration show. So let's talk more about the Gusher Pie 3. What males you guys throw to that? What seeds are they coming out? Are they out yet?
So we have a couple that are done. We've done 4 collaborations in total. And like I said, all these seeds go directly to Grower for Life, so they're never going to be released, so to speak. They're just for him to hunt through, and if he decides he wants me to F2 something or make out crosses or something down the line, then we have that option. But they'll stay with him, so they won't ever be released. The first one that we did was acai berry gelato back cross that I had made. I started the outcross with a wedding crasher male. I crossed that to the acai to make what I called crash berries. Then I took a crashberry male, pollinated it back to the acai again, and I think I started with 60 of those seeds. This was during the pandemic, and I believe I originally held on to like 8 different males, stress tested them all, flowered them out, re-vegged them, and dwindled it down similar to like you do in a hunt with a female, just trying to figure out. I was looking for, to further the line, I made a BX2, so I was looking for the one that seemed to carry the most acai dominant traits. And then the G Pi 3 was put in with that. The next project we did was later that year, where I had a peanut butter breath male that I found that just had gorgeous colors and real tight node spacing on it. And we also hit the G Pi with that. So
that's going to
be the phenos that he found in there running right now is the ube and the taro gelato from the acai berry cross, and he found what he calls the blackberry jam in the peanut butter cross to the G Pi.
It all sounds delicious. Now I'm hungry. I want to go make myself a peanut butter and jelly sandwich and go get more baked.
What's really cool about that is that usually in a situation like that, somebody keeps their prized male and they take the male to the females. But you're hunting out. Basically, Grower for Life found the prized female, and you're hunting out males to put to that female. Is that, or am I mishearing that?
No, yeah, I was actually, it was a big project. I have a whole line that I made with that acai backcross male. So I did a bunch of other outcrosses with it and made the BX2 in that. And that was the first one that we did. So we just kind of thought, well, let's, put the G Pi in there and see what comes out.
Oh yeah. I can tell you, your acai BX2 was super nice. I hunted out only a half pack of that. Found a keeper.
So good.
I think if Grower for Life, you said this before, if you're hunting out good genetics, and I think growing with an organic influence is huge also, because you can get full expression. But if you're hunting out good genetics and you get you can get full expression on plants, like you were in 10, 12 plants, like you're going to find a killer or two. Like that's been my experience at least.
100%.
So it's people sometimes think that's crazy, but it's not. Every hunt and every breeding project has its purpose. We need people to hunt 1,000 seeds of something and make sure. But if you have to hunt 100 seeds to get something fire, you're dealing with the wrong genetics to start with, or you got to learn how to
I
grow a
was
little
just
differently.
I was just gonna say that, man. You really shouldn't. You should be able to. You should be able to grab 2 to 3 packs from a breeder. At 10 to 12 seats per pack, and you should have no problem at all finding 4 or 5 keepers out of those 30. And I mean,
Like
when I'm
killers.
saying keepers, dude, there's 5 or 6 others that I wouldn't even kick out of bed. There's nothing wrong with them. I just don't care for the expression, and I happen to see what I'm really looking for in the other 5 out of the total 10 or 12 that I found out of the 30. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. No, you're right on. And
Yeah.
sometimes those keepers could be really different of the same plant, and it's just like,
Yep.
I smoked the 8 and the 4. Like I got them both. They're both fire. Like, but yeah, no, I don't know that it's always been like that, but certainly the packs that I've ever hunted have always been like that.
Yep.
But yeah, dude, hunting seeds is the most fun thing out of anything with weed. If they could all be killers, I'd hunt seeds every single time. If I knew that people would want to end game, every single plant would be a seed. But you just can't take those hits.
I love it. What made you guys collaborate on this particular project? Like what got you together? Was it,
homies?
I'm going to start this little slideshow too, so we can kind of talk about Kraken. In my mind, this is kind of what really did it for us was, for me was.
Hey, hold on real quick. Hey, girl for life, hold on 1 second. This is the first slideshow ever on the Grow Hour have I ever seen on any podcast. So I want to first say thank you for doing this. And I'm sorry I interrupted, but I had to thank you because I think this is fucking awesome. I appreciate the work that went into this. So go ahead. I'm sorry. I just had to thank you.
Thank you, bro. But hey, I'm gonna thank the Ganja Princess, my wife, because without her holding my hand, this wouldn't be happening.
I didn't want to say it. I kind of knew, but I was giving you props. She's not on the show yet.
I'm just an open book, bro. I always give credit where credit's due.
I love it. I can't wait to see it.
Yeah.
Let's see the first slideshow. All right.
Yeah. So this is well, I mean, we should be able to tell a little bit better on the tag date wise, but probably 5, maybe 6 years ago, when me and Kraken, when we met one another, and these are the first 4 packs that I got from him right here.
Bro, can I just say
the stowaway, the last
2.0, people used to fucking talk shit on that, and that was one of the best breeding plants I ever hunted through. Was a Purple Punch 2.0 line.
For sure. I saw some crazy stuff come out of that, man.
Dude, Purple Punch in general was fucking fire. But it became Blue Dream too fast.
I agree with you.
Unfortunately.
Yeah. Oh, that crash spray.
Earl's drilling over there going, I need to hunt.
And so the SA, that's a stowaway, and we got the crash berries in the back, and we got the stowaways. So, dude, as you can tell, bro, I only did 6 of the stowaways and 6 of the crash berries from what it looks like.
Yeah.
So not a huge hunt, man. I mean, I didn't know the guy very well, so I just kind of was like, yeah, I'll give it a run. And basically, when we were chatting, and he was, he's handing over the packs of seeds, he was like, hey, man, can you do me a favor and can you actually document this stuff? And I'm like, oh yeah, I fully intend on. You'll get pictures, full documentation. I'll post on Instagram, whole shebang. And I could kind of tell he was like, yeah. Because I know I've been around a lot. That's what they all say. And then the picture started. And it started getting uploaded to Instagram, and I think he saw that I was serious and doing what I said I was going to do.
Most definitely, I gotta give you your props for that. I was working at the growth store, and I probably handed out 200 packs of seeds that summer when I was working there, and I think you're the only one that followed through and actually documented and sent pictures, and
My parents raised me right.
Yes, sir.
I don't know if I've had a few people do that like once or twice, but yeah, that's fantastic. Not that, but it's very, very, very hard to find.
Bro, I take this seriously, man. This is who I am. I am grower for life, and when I give people my word, I 99.8% of the time I'm going to follow through on what I say. So
what he just said is everything you need to know about life. Those words, your word is your bond. It's all you got. Your balls and your word. Well, for men anyway, your balls and your word is all you got.
Can I just say,
100%.
I want to, again, give a little nod that way. Not only did Grower for Life document all these, but he made sure that finished flower made it back into my hand. And Earl, I'm sure you know what a huge deal that is.
Yeah, that's fantastic. You can taste some of your.
Hey, Brody, I don't want to.
Rose, sorry, go ahead.
No, I'm sorry, dude. Hey, I don't want to have a big head here or anything either, but I remember when I brought you back, like, I think I showed up and I gave you, I think it was like a quarter of each, and I handed you like 7 or 8 or maybe even 9 quarters, and you were like, well, "What is this?" Yeah. I'm like, "Oh, it's a quarter of each one of the the testers," and you're like, "For real, bro?" I'm like, "Well, yeah. Don't you want to smoke what I fucking grew?"
Totally blew me away.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Not normal.
Well, I mean, that's so much.
So yeah,
when you're making the seeds, it's a lot of information.
It's a beautiful plant.
Yeah.
Okay, so this one, Crashberry F2. Oh my God, man, that stowaway was fire. Don't get me wrong, but Crashberry, to this day, this girl's just still stole my heart, man.
What's the terp
This was
on
the
that?
one. What's that?
What was the terp on that? How did that one smell and taste?
Kraken.
Man, you might do better with this one than I will, bro. She was super unique, like almost like a floral, astringent. This is gonna sound, I better leave it to be.
No, keep going, bro. You were doing good, and I'll just add in a little bit as you go.
Well, there was the only thing that I've ever smelled that smelled similar to it. This is going to sound kind of weird. Was like a bathroom potpourri that's called like One Drop, and it's almost like dryer sheets and astringent and floral. But that's the only thing I've ever smelled that smelled anything remotely like this phenotype. It was absolutely wild, completely delicious, amazing effects, and obviously a very beautiful plant.
Yeah, look at the head on that thing. Oh, my goodness. Sorry. Go ahead.
The only reason
I'm going to come in with – go ahead.
I was just asking because I grew a plant that like those light green flowers with those real dark leaves, and it had a super like lime type flavor. And so that's the only reason I was asking, because it kind of looked like that real light flower with those dark leaves. You don't see a lot.
Yeah.
Or I don't.
Yeah, no, definitely. On my end, so we all have our different expression of what we're picking up. Everything that Kraken just said, and I don't ever want this to sound bad, because sometimes people take like different terp profiles. I come from a long time ago, dude, when we were dealing with phenos that smelled like rotten garbage and baby poop and all these weird like smells, right? Different terpenes. So to me, when I find a plant that expresses that, I'm like, ooh, man, this has got some landrace funk going on in it, right? I can smell it. I like it. So everything that Kraken just said, plus it had a real loud hint of like almost like dirty gym socks with like a really astringent, like chemical type odor on the end, not gas, and like, man, like a really odd chemical. So it was super sweet floral boutique with like crazy dirty gym socks and chemicals.
Sounds delicious.
This one plant. Me and another one of my old partners had a greenhouse, and we had man, I think there was like 150 GP3s, 150 of DAT flavor, which is Grandiflora genetics. It was my number 4 pheno that I hunted out, and I had like 3 of these crash berries in there, and you could smell these 3 crash berries over all of the other 300 and some odd plants. They just fucking stunk, dude.
I like that.
good.
You ever see Waterboy when the fucking the one of the coaches, the real Bayou coach, he had his nipples pierced and he ripped off his nipples and he just started squeezing on him at the end of there. That's what I felt the way you explained that, the dirty sock part. I was just like,
Oh yeah, dude. Just beautiful, nasty funk, man.
You know what I realized though? I realized my wife, Mrs. Weedman, she smokes. She loves flavor, but she does not like the dirty sock flavor and the gassy flavor, and that she likes more of the fruity. And I found that really different. Why I like the dirty sock and she likes just the fruity. I don't understand. So I look at it, I'm like, man, why don't you like the dirty sock? Didn't you ever watch Porky's before when you were a kid?
Yeah, right.
That's an oldie but a goodie. An oldie but a motherfucking goodie. Only people from that was born in like the 70s kind of know that fucking Porky's shit.
Oh yeah.
Have either one of you collabed with any other people? Is this deal? You guys have done 4 together, you said, right? So is this your first collab together, or I mean, your first only, or have you done other collabs before?
This is the only one that I've done. I'm actually talking to our buddy Mike Straight about doing a collaboration with him shortly. So
I love Mike Straight. Mike Straight's a fan favorite in his house. He makes some really good hash. Yeah,
he's a good guy. So I'm definitely looking forward to doing that. But so far, this is the only one that I've done.
You're gonna try to work with some of his Josh DOG, that's some of that new stuff that he's been working with, or you guys not even talked about that? I bet that got me all excited, and my brain's all.
I haven't ran any of it myself, but the nursery out here that I work with is hunting through a couple of those Josh D crosses, and says it's incredible work.
Nice. The pictures are fucking incredible. I have to make a trip out there just to smoke some of that with him. It's just the pictures I've seen are just amazing.
For sure.
Yeah, definitely, man. Yeah. So, and on that point with myself, the only collabs that I've done are Kraken, and then I'm also doing a collab right now with Greenfire Genetics, and Greenfire is where the GP3 came from. She is the original breeder of that. So she has I gave her a couple cuts of the GP3, which is something I don't do, man. And that's kind of like with me and Kraken, huge trust. I'm like, bro, I don't give cuttings to nobody, so this can't go anywhere. And that's, it never has. And then same thing with Greenfire. Granted, it's her own, it's her own breeding project. So, but still, I found that it's my claim. It's one of my claim to fames. But anyways, so she's doing a, she's doing one cross of her, why am I drawing a blank on this? So we're doing the Grand Blueberry back to the GP3 to try to pull a little bit more of the Granddaddy and the Blueberry out of it. And then, what is the other one? It's her, man, I'm drawing a total blank. I'll probably come back in with that here in a couple of minutes.
I'm looking forward to hearing about it.
Yeah. I lost my train of thought.
It's all right. It happens. We're fucking burned out.
But yeah, dude, I love Greenfire.
Earl?
I haven't been able to run a lot of their stuff, but I do have like 6 or 7 packs in the back. And for a long time, they had real nice packaging and everything. I've liked them a lot. You guys think there's any negatives to collaborating? How you have, or normal collaborations in general?
I definitely think there's potential for it. It depends on the two parties involved, and obviously communication of expectations after the project's finish. I definitely know a couple guys that have done collaborations that ended badly.
Yeah. No, I
Yeah,
can,
no
I can
doubt.
see that.
Well, Grower said it best. Trust is a big factor in this, right?
Absolutely.
Oh, it's
And
huge.
right, and your word. So run us through a little bit. I mean, you talked about it all along, but run us through like a process of figuring it out a little bit, and the ideas of it all, and was it deeper than that? Because look at the production that you've shown, these pictures, and where it started and where it came from. I mean, how deep did you have to go to find the right person to work with, but also the right grow too, right? Because you had to go through some struggles probably to find the right plants, right?
Honestly, I feel like our whole thing came about really naturally. Like I mentioned, I was working on that acai project, and I kind of just hit up Grower and was like, "Hey, I got this project going. If you want to throw the G pie in there, I'm happy to make some seeds for you." And it just kind of went from there. I try to do at least a couple projects a year, so I'll normally call him and say, "Hey, I got this male, or I'm gonna do this reversal. You want to throw one of the girls in?" And most of the time, we end up getting one in there. There's a couple that haven't made it, but yeah, I usually just hit him up and ask if he wants to throw a plant in.
Sweet.
Yep.
Grower?
Hey, it just came to mind, man. Greenfire. She's slapping the GP3 with her sherbs. That's the other cross. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. So that should be interesting. And on that note that you're talking about, man, with the whole collab thing, bro, I've been burnt a few times, not on collabs, but just in general with people. I've seen a lot of people get burnt on collabs. So I've always been very, very sketchy about doing them. And kind of like I said, man, when I got that Midas touch, man, I do a hunt, I find a pheno, and I'm usually able to run with that particular pheno and that flower for a good 5 to 6 years. I'm obviously hunting all sorts of stuff in the background, but generally I don't want to give away my bread and butter. And I really got to know the person before I'm even at all interested in potentially putting myself in a position to lose or be in a bad position, and Brody did not, Kraken did not make me feel like that. Comfort from the point I met him. So building the trust wasn't a problem. And the same thing with Greenfire. We've just built a great relationship, and I definitely told her, when I was, I'm really nervous about sending you this. I just don't do this normally. And, she was like, well, let's, we can drop some paperwork and stuff. And I'm like, let's just do this old school. And you're an old school G. I know where your dad came from. I'm an old school G. Let's just agree that we don't fuck each other. And, it's a handshake, dude. And and we'll just roll with it. And I've gotten lucky with both these people. So, no complaints.
Love it.
Nice. Oh yeah. Hell yeah.
It's not to say that I haven't had a ton of other people come at me, and I think I was saying that earlier, and I just kind of I'm very polite. I'm like, yeah, that sounds great, maybe in the future, but that's kind of like, nope, not happening.
Well, you can only hunt so many seeds. Like that's the hardest part. Is like you got. Of course, we want to pop everything, like literally everything, but you got so many seeds that you can hunt, and so. Sorry.
Yeah, and it's a little, dude. Now I've kind of changed the game in these beds too. I mean, I've been running beds for probably about 12 to 15 years. But the new living soil beds, it's a little bit different because I'm and let's just say in a room I've got, let's say 2 different cultivars. I'm testing those beds. I'm doing soil samples on those beds every run, and I'm basically re-amending those beds per that particular cultivar. So now that I'm going to be doing, hunts in this type of situation, it's going to be a little bit different, dude. So I think I'm going to be doing, I'm going to be running, and they're 3x3 beds, so they're not huge beds. But I think I'm going to be running like 12 to 16 plants in one bed, doing a hunt through 12 to 16, and they're going to be, single stock, not topped, and so a little bit different than what I'm used to doing. So yeah.
I have so many questions. I cannot wait to have you on our 1-1 show. I'm so excited because you're a grower. I'm not a breeder. I'm drooling at the mouth because I want to grow plants like that, and I grow okay, but I want to grow plants like Earl and yours. So I have so many questions. It's going to be such a good show.
What's up, bro? I'm an open book until it comes to some of the secret sauce, and then I get a little.
I don't want trade secrets. I just want the basics. I don't need trade secrets. I'll figure those out later on my own, but I just want to know the basics. It makes me excited. 100%. So I'm super stoked. So Earl?
I know your guys is a little different, but how do you think people usually split that up when they collab? Is it usually 50-50? Have you heard anybody do, or is there one thing we haven't talked about, I don't think ever, are like the ghost breeding type things, where the real big breeders will go to other people that don't have as big of a name or whatever, and the other people actually make the seeds for them.
Yeah, white label breeding, that's definitely a thing.
Yeah, for sure. On a normal collab, is it usually 50-50? Is that how that you hear that? Like if somebody's like, hey, let's split a male and a female, or I don't know. I've never heard anybody talk about numbers like that.
Well, I can say this, dude. So this is where I tend to say no, is when somebody gets too excited and they say, hey, man, let's do a collab and we can split the seeds 50-50 and I want to use your GP3. Immediate red flag to me. I'm like, nope, I'm cool, bro. Like you jumped on that so quick. That means I'm going to give you my female and now you have a cutting of it. You have a copy and that's causing a problem. Yeah. And if I don't want you, handing those seeds out to everybody and their mother or selling them potentially, you're going to do that. And that's not necessarily what I like. And a lot of people don't like that. When I tell them that, they're like, oh, bro, you're being selfish. And I'm like, no, that's just, then I don't do a breeding project with you. It's that simple.
Yeah. You can send me some pollen. That's send me some pollen. That only goes so
and I've tried that too. And that they're like, oh, I can't give you my pollen. I'm like, well, you won't give me your prize pollen, and I won't give you my prize female. So we have a problem.
Yeah. Well, the big thing with the pollen is you can't clone it. You don't have an infinite amount of that pollen.
Yep.
So really, that makes way more sense to me than you sharing your prize female if you don't want it out there.
Yep. Exactly.
But what about future stuff with collaboration? Have you guys ever heard anybody talking about like, we do a collaboration, but then I breed with our collaboration? Is that now it's on to another one, or do you see any disrespect in anything like that?
I guess that would all come down to communication, and if you collab with somebody on something, I feel like you both would have the right to continue the line if that's what you're choosing to do. I don't know too much about the splits and numbers and, what the other guys are doing. I tend to try to just keep my blinders on and not watch too much what the other guys are doing,
Yeah.
Too easy.
It's just, those things come up a lot and it's hard to know. Like if somebody says, hey, let's do, just like you just said, Grow for Life. If somebody jumps on and says 50-50, you might be thinking there, saying, oh, that's a pretty good deal. I'm going to get at least some seeds and all I got to do is let go of this cut. But there's this other side of that that people should be careful of, because especially with how the industry's kind of been going, it's super hard to find people. We've been lucky enough that all of our guests that come on have been really badass people, and we know them all, and we've seen their work and personally grown their stuff almost all the time. But there's so much stuff out there that you can, and I know you guys have seen it, where it's just like, man, I can't believe this is representing the industry as well, kind of shit. But
yep.
I don't know. I took a somber turn there, but I'm just. It's just
fucking Wolfman. I'm gonna say when Earl gets this high from now on in Hash, I'm gonna call you got Wolfman.
You see it, and then it happens to good people, and talking about it and letting people hear that, hey guys, some of this shit, this is how a lot of us see this or view this. It's a little unreasonable to think this or that. Probably don't get custied, or whatever you want to call it.
Well, hey, bro, the OGs, man, the people that have been around for 20 plus years, we have a whole different outlook on the way things are supposed to work. This whole new era of Brads and Chads and fuckboys, they got a whole different like perspective. And it's some of the times it's just a lot easier to do like me and Kraken do. We stay out of the fucking mix, dude, because it's not worth the repercussions,
Keep just a tight, small knit is always better than keeping a large fucking. It gets too gossipy, too shitty, too fucking. This person said this person said that. But when you work with a small group, it's kind of nicer, smoother. Things go a lot cleaner.
Keep it small batch and keep it niche, like from the size of your circle to your garden and what you do. It all works out better no matter how you look at it. It's not all about money, man. Straight up, the guys like myself and Kraken and and you guys as well. I'm not about the money, dude. I'm all about the love of the plant and the end flower and the clean product that I'm that other people are able to consume from me. That's obviously money pays the bills, man. It's expensive to do this shit, but
of course
it's not.
Yeah. Got to make money to live. You got to make money to live. We're not even, making money is life. You got to make it. There's no way getting out of it anymore. So you got to make, unless you go all the way off the grid and you can afford to do everything on your own, but you can't. You got to make money. Everybody's got to make a living in life. Now, there's greed, which that living, you go fuck yourself. And then there's making a good living for you and your family to leave something to your kids one day or whatever you want to do and just be able to live, pay your bills, but have something of your own. That's the drunk writer.
Hey, bro, I was
again,
just going to say, there's nothing wrong with the whole paycheck to paycheck and a little bit above. You don't have to be rich, man.
That's it.
So, yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, totally agree.
What are you guys working on right now outside of like anything new coming out? Anything we should know about? Like maybe you don't want to talk about it yet because it's not there, but anything you want to pop, any seeds you're going to pop, any new grow, anything you're going to do. Look at all these beautiful pictures. It's so exciting to see.
Yeah, so we can jump. I'm going to go back one. So this is another shot of the Crashberry F2. She's just such a sexy fucking girl. Loved her.
Sexy.
What week is that? That like 6, 7? Like, or how long is she?
Man, this was a long. So, dude, pretty much. I don't know what it is with me, but pretty much everything I run is right around like 62, 63, 65, 67. So if I remember correctly, it's been a minute since I've ran her. But I want to say she was like early 60s. I think this was a 63, 64 day variety. So this is probably like half. Probably about like halfway through, something like that. I'd say like probably 45 days right here, something like that.
Wow.
She's triked
out, thick fucking flowers, super sticky. The kind of shit. Obviously, everything's got to be cured properly too. That helps the the whole case in point. But this was the type of shit that you could throw at a window and it would stick to it. Once it was dry. Like.
I mean, you could put it on the outside of your car when you do 90 and ain't going nowhere.
Remember when Greenbud first hit the scene and you go buy a 20 bag of it and you could barely get the shit out of the bag because it was just fucking caked and stuck. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. So, can we reemphasize the cure, please? I know we talk about it a lot, but that shit cannot be. You can't have the dankest weed if you're not curing that shit perfectly and drying it perfectly, and fucking, it is so fucking important.
100%.
Bro, people will argue about some shit like that all day, and it's like, just you gotta treat that shit right. Doesn't matter.
You know what's in?
God, that plant looks tasty,
dude. The ube. So, dude, like just this chick gets the fattest brackets on her, man. They're like goddamn pencil erasers, bro. Yeah, she's beautiful, dude. Turns a crazy, crazy purple. She's good looking.
Yeah, you can see
a beautiful looking plant.
That was one thing with the acai I ran. They were all like black purple. The only other strain that was like that was the Brandywine.
Yep.
That's why I decided to breed with her. She was just such a looker, and she's got such a good flavor profile. I must have had, I don't know. There was definitely a lot of gelatos floating around that time, and she was by far my favorite.
Yeah, and it was just
Kraken,
really
you
nice
working on
time.
anything? You got anything new coming out?
Yeah, I've got a couple reversals planned for this year. I probably won't dive too deep into what they are, but I'm planning on doing a couple reversals and offering my first feminized line publicly this year.
Very cool.
Nice, good for you. I speaking of feminizing, we'll go into this when you come on the show again. I will do my first auto feminized grow this next one I'm about to do. So yes, we had Alabrije on the show and Ray from Hummingbird Hills on the show, and Alabrije sent me a pack to try out, and so I'm gonna give it a try. I've done fem regs, but never, and I've done autos, but I haven't done auto fems yet, and I've done a shit ton of regs. So, but I'm interested to see because I've never done one before. I want to see it. I want to see how the whole thing plays out from seed to fucking smoke. I'm excited. Sure. Yeah. So that'll be my first. But I'm looking forward to hearing about that project and when you're ready to talk about it on the next time you come on. So, but what else? Anything else coming from either one of you guys? And you can keep on rolling those pictures because I'm drooling from the mouth right now. So,
Grower, you want to talk about the stuff that's headed to testing soon? The last two that we did, or
That's the same cut that you've been showing. That's the same ube cut.
That's all been the same ube.
Was that a different female?
No. So
damn,
if we go,
it looked different from above.
No, this is just one of the side branches.
Mm.
And then this is the sister to her, the Taro Gelato.
Yeah, you can see her in there. She's a little thicker.
Beautiful.
Yeah, and so this is like
What LEDs you guys got up there?
Pre-harvest defoliation. Dude, I only run 8 light rooms, bro. I do small batch, man. Like I don't. It's a couple of 8 light rooms. That's kind of where I feel comfortable. I mean, I don't,
Look at that gnarliness right there. Holy fuck, that's some gnarly
blackberry
right
jam.
there.
Bro, this smells like straight up fucking blackberry jam, dude. It's insane, dude. Blackberry jam and molasses cookies. It's insane, and it's super fucking.
That does sound nice.
It's super strong, bro.
Look at the trikes going all the way down the leaves too, man. That baby's happy right there.
Yeah. So all these pics, though, man. This is like this is probably like day. I think right around like day 50, I believe, because it looks like I just cleaned them up. So day 50, maybe 53 at the latest. So they got about another good 10 days to really like darken up, 10, 12 days to really darken up, and then, Chaparooski. And so these are what we're currently running right now. So that the ube, the Taro Gelato, and the blackberry jam, those are what we are, running right now in the rooms.
I love it. Thanks for sharing. Absolutely. I appreciate it. You got any more pictures on
there? I don't. That was it.
Is that the last?
That's all she wrote.
Well, perfect timing. Perfect timing. So Kraken, plug away, brother, and then Grow for Life, you plug away next. So Kraken, tell us where we can find you. You got a website or anything? Your Instagram, any social media? Let us know.
Yeah, absolutely. You can find me, like you see right there, KrakenGenetix3.0 on Instagram. The website is KrakenGenetix.com. I don't accept any orders on the website, so if you guys are looking for seeds, go ahead and hit me up on Instagram. We'll get you taken care of.
Sweet.
Grower? Yeah, man. Grower for Life _ on Insta. And then I do have a website, www.growerforlife.com. And it shows a lot of the pictures, a lot of the varieties that we were just looking at. It also shows GP3, GP8. Yeah, that's how you can track me down, man.
I love it. And I'm super excited to get to talk to both of you and get to meet you. Looking forward to doing a couple more shows with you to get to know you even more. Big Earl, man, what a great show. We reversed it. Just like you reverse a fucking plant. We reversed it this time. We're starting with the rollout of this. What a way to start 2024. Our first show in 2024.
Love
it's fucking great. So
Yeah.
I gotta tell you, I gotta tell you something real quick, Big Earl, before we go. Mrs. Weedman is taking a new vitamin, something new to something that I never thought I'd see her take. And I put this fucking shit in my plants when it needs help. Earl, help me out. I can't
Guaranteed.
fucking think of the life of me what it's called.
It's guaranteed that people aren't getting enough calcium or magnesium, and a nice CalMag will help you and your plants out. It's guaranteed.
Everybody out there in the world, we love you. Don't forget your CalMag. Peace! Check out our cannabis lifestyle brand online at 8decades.com. Our custom smokes and accessories are perfect for your coffee table, bedroom nightstand, or kitchen counter. They're designed for you to show them off. The Canna community is also loving our hemp and cotton blend t-shirts, sweatshirts, scarves, and hats, finished off with our 8 Decades logo. We've got some awesome, long-lasting goods that will be your favorite for years to come. 8 Decades, because a 9th decade of cannabis prohibition isn't acceptable.